Seinfeld cast, 1989 to 2026. Then versus now, how much have they changed?
Hello, Jerry.
When I was in third or fourth grade and I was in some
Tape
school.
tells me to say, serenity now!
Steve, why do you always want to...
Jerry Seinfeld. Jerry Seinfeld has always been the steady heartbeat of Seinfeld, a character so natural it blurred the line between fiction and reality. In 1989, at 35, he wasn't just starring in a sitcom, he was reshaping television.
All night long, things are creaking and cracking, and that red light is burning my brain.
As a master of observational comedy, he co-created the now legendary show about nothing, bringing his real-life personality, timing, and perspective directly onto the screen. His calm, almost detached reactions became the perfect anchor in a world full of chaos, allowing every absurd situation to feel strangely relatable. Now, as of March 2026, at 71 approaching 72 in April, Seinfeld remains as relevant as ever. He continues to tour globally as a stand-up comedian, proving that his sharp observations about everyday life still resonate across generations. In 2024, he expanded his creative reach by directing and starring in Netflix's Unfrosted, showing he's still willing to evolve. Offstage, he enjoys a stable and private family life with his wife Jessica and their 3 children. While time has brought gray hair and a more refined presence, his wit hasn't faded. If anything, it's sharper, more precise proof that true comedic instinct doesn't age, it matures.
We just try to model good behavior and model things that we think are...
Julia Louis-Dreyfus. Julia Louis-Dreyfus redefined what a female sitcom character could be when she joined Seinfeld in season 2. In the early 1990s, at just 28 to 31, her portrayal of Elaine Baines brought a bold, unapologetic energy that stood shoulder to shoulder with the show's male leads. She was sharp, independent, unpredictable, and completely original. From awkward dating disasters to workplace chaos, Elaine felt real in a way audiences hadn't seen before. And of course, her hilariously uncoordinated Elaine dance became one of the most iconic comedic moments in television history.
Jerry, I want to slide my tongue around you like...
Now, as of March 2026 at 65, Louis-Dreyfus remains at the top of her craft. After bravely overcoming cancer, she returned stronger than ever, continuing to take on major roles including Thunderbolts 2025 and The Sheep Detectives 2026. Her dominance in comedy was already cemented with 6 consecutive Emmy wins for Veep, a record that highlights her consistency and brilliance. Time has only refined her presence, more graceful, more confident, yet still effortlessly funny. From sitcom standout to enduring icon, Elaine didn't just change with time, she helped shape what television comedy could become.
There was a moment when I was in third or fourth grade and I was in some school play.
Jason Alexander. Jason Alexander transformed George Costanza into one of the most relatable and hilariously flawed characters in Seinfeld. In 1989, at just 29, the Broadway-trained performer brought a level of precision and depth rarely seen in sitcom comedy.
A different interpretation! Do you know anything about this pretzel guy?
George wasn't just funny, he was painfully human. Neurotic, insecure, and constantly self-sabotaging, he became the ultimate everyman, turning everyday failures into unforgettable comedic moments. Alexander's expressive delivery and impeccable timing elevated even the smallest lines into iconic scenes. Now, as of March 2026, at 66, Alexander remains deeply rooted in the world of performance. He continues to work activno across theater, voice acting, and directing, proving his versatility extends far beyond sitcom fame. With an estimated net worth of around $50 million, his career reflects longevity and dedication rather than fleeting success. Physically, time has softened his appearance. His hair thinner, his look more seasoned, but the essence of his talent remains untouched. His comedic rhythm is still sharp, his instincts still precise. Decades later, George Costanza endures not just as a character, but as a reflection of human imperfection, and Jason Alexander as the actor who made it timeless.
A, not Jason, J, Scott Greenspan.
Michael Richards. Michael Richards created one of television's most unforgettable characters with Cosmo Kramer in Seinfeld. When the show debuted in 1989, he was around 40, yet his elastic body language, wild entrances, and fearless physical comedy made Kramer feel larger than life. Whether sliding through Jerry's door or reacting with exaggerated shock, Richards turned movement itself into comedy, earning 3 Emmy Awards and cementing Kramer as a true pop culture icon.
Drink a beer or two. But then again, I've been known to do it.
At a time when sitcom humor relied heavily on dialogue, Richards proved that physical performance could still dominate the screen. His unpredictable energy gave Seinfeld a unique rhythm, often stealing scenes without saying much at all. Now, as of March 2026, at 76, Richards lives a quieter life, largely away from the spotlight. He occasionally reconnects with audiences through smaller appearances and projects like Entrances and Exits 2026. But his days of constant public exposure are behind him. With an estimated net worth of around $30 million, his legacy is already firmly secured. Though he appears less frequently today, the memory of those iconic door slides and explosive reactions still resonates, proving that true comedic brilliance doesn't fade, it echoes.
As a hippie, the harder you hit me, the funnier it'll be.
Wayne Knight. Wayne Knight turned Newman into one of Seinfeld's most delightfully devious figures. When he appeared in the early 1990s, around 34 to 37 years old, his dramatic delivery of "Hello, Jerry" instantly became iconic.
Hello, Jerry. How's Pam?
With a mix of sly humor and over-the-top scheming, Newman wasn't just a side character, he was the perfect comedic rival, adding tension and absurdity to nearly every scene he touched. Now, as of March 2026, at 70, Knight has undergone a remarkable personal and professional transformation. After losing around 100 pounds, he re-emerged with renewed energy, taking on new roles including a comeback appearance in Five Nights at Freddy's 2 while staying active in voice acting. Visibly leaner and more refined, he still carries that same mischievous smile and unmistakable presence. From quirky antagonist to seasoned performer, Wayne Knight proves that even decades later, a great character and a great actor never truly fades.
I went to New York instead of to LA to start.
John O'Hurley. John O'Hurley brought unforgettable flair to Seinfeld as J. Peterman, the eccentric catalog king, whose dramatic storytelling and exotic adventures turned even the simplest scenes into theatrical moments.
Well, that's the best way to get someplace you've never been. You've been crying.
When he joined in the mid-1990s, around 35 to 41 years old, his rich voice and exaggerated elegance made Peterman stand out instantly. Half businessman, half philosopher, and entirely unique within the show's universe. Now, as of March 2026, at 71, O'Hurley continues to embody that same refined charm. He remains active as a host voice actor, including work on Phineas and Ferb, and entrepreneur, notably maintaining a real-life connection with the J. Peterman brand. While time has added polish and maturity to his appearance, his signature delivery and commanding presence remain intact. Decades later, he still feels like he stepped straight out of one of his own catalogs. Proof that true character, much like great storytelling, never goes out of style.
Move along with Coach, and if they had to move it around, they'd take that.
Estelle Harris. Estelle Harris turned Estelle Costanza into one of the loudest and most unforgettable voices in sitcom history. When she appeared on Seinfeld in the early 1990s, around 61 to 64 years old, her piercing, high-pitched delivery and explosive arguments, especially with Frank, created some of the show's most chaotic and hilarious moments.
Sell out Madison Square Garden! Thousands of people could watch you!
Every shout, every overreaction felt larger than life, making her a scene stealer in even the shortest appearances. Beyond the show, her distinctive voice reached new generations as Mrs. Potato Head in Toy Story. In April 2022, Harris passed away at the age of 93, closing a long and memorable career. Yet her presence hasn't faded. Through reruns, her fiery exchanges and impeccable comedic timing remain highlights that still resonate with audiences today. Time may have taken her from the screen, but Estelle Costanza's voice, loud, loving, and unforgettable, continues to echo, proving that true comedic energy never really disappears.
My son treating his body like...
Jerry Stiller. Jerry Stiller brought pure chaos to Seinfeld as Frank Costanza, a character defined by explosive energy and unforgettable outbursts. When he joined the series in the early 1990s, around 62 to 66 years old, Stiller transformed what could have been a minor role into a comedic powerhouse.
When my blood pressure gets too high, the man on the tape tells me to say, "Serenity now!"
From inventing Festivus to shouting Serenity, now his performances became some of the most quoted and beloved moments in the entire show. Before Seinfeld, Stiller had already built a respected career, but it was Frank Costanza that introduced him to a new generation.
The nerve of that woman walking into my house, stealing my collection.
His chemistry with Estelle Harris created iconic on-screen arguments that still define sitcom comedy today. In May 2020, Stiller passed away at the age of 92, leaving behind a remarkable legacy. He later delighted audiences again as Arthur Spooner in The King of Queens, proving his comedic brilliance never faded. Decades later, his voice, his intensity, and his timing still resonate because Frank Costanza wasn't just a character, he was an unforgettable force.
And you would be working with Jack Klugman.
Liz Sheridan. Liz Sheridan brought warmth and gentle humor to Seinfeld as Helen Seinfeld, the ever-caring, slightly anxious mother of Jerry.
So why did you say anything?
It was a mistake.
Are you okay?
Oh, yeah.
When she appeared in the early 1990s, around 60 to 63 years old, her performance added a softer emotional layer to a show built on sarcasm and irony. Whether worrying about her son or navigating everyday misunderstandings with Morty, she created a character that felt authentic, relatable, and quietly funny. Unlike the louder personalities around her, Sheridan's strength was subtlety. Her timing, expressions, and natural delivery made Helen feel like someone audiences truly knew. That balance helped ground the show, reminding viewers that even in absurd situations, there was always a touch of real family life underneath. In April 2022, she passed away at the age of 93, closing a long and graceful career. Yet her legacy remains intact. Decades later, Helen Seinfeld is still remembered as one of television's most comforting TV moms, a presence defined not by chaos, but by heart.
I do. My husband steals them, but sometimes he doesn't get it right, so I...
Len Lesser. Len Lesser turned Uncle Leo into one of Seinfeld's most unforgettable recurring characters. When he appeared in the early 1990s, around 67 to 69 years old, his loud, enthusiastic Jerry greetings and constant guilt-tripping created instant comedic tension.
The Parks Commissioner is recommending Jeffrey for a citation.
He wasn't on screen often, but every appearance felt memorable thanks to his expressive face, sharp timing, and ability to turn small moments into big laughs. Uncle Leo represented a very real kind of family dynamic, overbearing, dramatic, yet oddly lovable, and that relatability made him stand out among a cast full of eccentric personalities.
Oh, no, I understand. I got plenty of friends in show business. I know you're all very busy.
Lesser's performance proved that even a supporting role could leave a lasting impression when done right. In 2011, Len Lesser passed away at the age of 88. Yet decades later, Uncle Leo remains one of the most recognizable side characters from the series. His voice, his energy, and his signature greeting continue to live on, reminding fans that sometimes the smallest roles create the biggest memories.
To this day, I get people wherever I go.
Richard Hurd. Richard Hurd brought a unique, understated brilliance to Seinfeld as Mr. Wilhelm George Costanza's oddly supportive yet often bewildered boss. When he appeared in the mid-1990s, around 57 to 63 years old, Hurd mastered the art of deadpan comedy, delivering lines with calm authority while reacting to George's absurd behavior with quiet confusion. That contrast created some of the show's most subtly hilarious moments.
I'm here to clean the carpets. Most of the world is carpeted.
Though not as loud or eccentric as other characters, Wilhelm's occasional bursts, often referred to by fans as the Wilhelm scream, added unexpected layers of humor. Hurd's commanding presence, shaped by years of playing authority figures, made the character feel believable even in the most ridiculous situations. In 2020, Richard Hurd passed away at the age of 87. Yet his performance lives on through reruns where his restrained style continues to stand out. In a show filled with chaos, Wilhelm proved that sometimes the quietest reactions can deliver the biggest laughs.
In the business. I didn't do the silent films, though.
Richard Fancy. Richard Fancy gave Seinfeld a different kind of comedic energy through his role as Mr. Lipman Elaine's well-meaning yet often clueless boss. When he appeared in the early 1990s around 46 to 49 years old, Fancy brought a perfect balance of authority and quiet humor.
These ideas are all in the air. They're in the air.
His straight-faced delivery made even the most absurd misunderstandings, like the famous Muffin Top storyline, feel grounded and believable. Unlike the louder personalities in the series, Lipman stood out for his subtle charm. He wasn't just a strict executive. He was approachable, slightly naive, and unintentionally funny, adding a workplace dynamic that complemented Elaine's chaotic world. Now, as of March 2026 at 82, Fancy remains active with occasional appearances in film and television. His hair has turned silver, but his professional presence and calm authority remain unchanged. Decades later, Mr. Lipman still represents a timeless archetype, the boss who means well even when everything around him makes absolutely no sense.
Why do you always want to humanize?
Heidi Swedberg. Heidi Swedberg brought a grounded, gentle contrast to Seinfeld as Susan Ross George Costanza's long-suffering fiancée.
Make any plans. And this time we're not skimping.
When she appeared in the mid-1990s, around 23 to 28 years old, her calm, sincere demeanor made George's chaotic behavior even funnier. Their relationship, often awkward, sometimes sweet, ultimately led to one of the most shocking and darkly comedic twists in sitcom history, forever cementing Susan's place in pop culture. While her screen time was limited, Swedberg's performance added emotional balance to a show known for its cynicism. She played the normal in an abnormal world, which made every interaction feel more real and more absurd at the same time. Now, as of March 2026 at 60, Swedberg has largely stepped away from acting, focusing instead on music with her Suki Jump band. Embracing folk traditions and family life, she's chosen a quieter, more personal path. Though her career shifted, her warm smile and memorable role continue to resonate with fans decades later.
A lot of nudity in that, huh?
No, just a tiny bit. It's not even...
Ruth Cohen. Ruth Cohen may not have had many lines, but as Ruthie Cohen, the familiar cashier at Monk's Cafe, she became one of Seinfeld's most quietly essential presences.
Opening up the register.
Not unless you buy something.
When the show began in 1989 at around 59 years old, she appeared in an incredible 101 episodes, more than any recurring character outside the main cast. Always in the background, always consistent, she helped make Monk's feel real a place viewers returned to just as often as Jerry and his friends did. Her role was subtle, but that was the point. While chaos unfolded at the table, Ruthie remained steady behind the counter, a silent witness to some of the show's most iconic moments. That consistency gave the series a sense of continuity and comfort that fans still recognize instantly. In August 2008, Ruth Cohen passed away at the age of 78. Yet her legacy lives on in every rerun, proof that even without the spotlight, a familiar face can become truly unforgettable.
My father came here as an older...
Barney Martin. Barney Martin brought a grounded, old-school charm to Seinfeld as Morty Seinfeld, Jerry's stubborn yet lovable father. When he appeared in the early 1990s, around 66 to 68 years old, Martin infused the role with a perfect mix of thriftiness, pride, and comedic frustration, whether arguing about condo politics in Florida or clashing with neighbors over the smallest details. Morty wasn't just a background parent. He represented a familiar generation, practical, opinionated, and unintentionally funny. His dynamic with Liz Sheridan as Helen created one of the most believable and enduring sitcom parent duos, balancing warmth with constant bickering that felt both real and hilarious. In 2005, Barney Martin passed away at the age of 82. Yet his legacy lives on through every rerun. Morty's presence helped shape the family layer of Seinfeld, proving that even in a show about nothing, the smallest family moments could leave the biggest impression. Decades later, Seinfeld still stands as one of television's greatest achievements, from the sharp observations of Jerry Seinfeld to the unforgettable energy of Julia Louis-Dreyfus, the brilliance of Jason Alexander, and the explosive presence of Michael Richards. Every member of the cast helped shape a legacy that continues to influence comedy today. Supporting performances from actors like Wayne Knight, Jerry Stiller, and others added layers that made the world of the show feel real chaotic and endlessly entertaining. Time has changed their lives. Some have passed on, others have evolved, but their performances remain timeless. The humor still lands, the characters still resonate, and the cultural impact continues to echo across generations. Seinfeld wasn't just a sitcom, it was a turning point in television history. Subscribe to Legendary TV Memories for more timeless stories. But here's the real question: will we ever see a cast and a show this perfectly balanced again?